celebrates National Sports Day on the 29th of August every year, and yes, it is the birth anniversary of our legendary Major Dhyan Chand, the greatest hockey player that the world has ever witnessed. To celebrate his achievements and the many athletes who've come after, this day is an ode to the relentless pursuit of their passion and achievements. Hi, I am Disha and welcome to The Bridge. Today we have with us a visionary who's enabled star athletes like Saina Nehwal, Harmanpreet Singh, S.V. Sunil, Surya Kumar Yadav and many more to win big on the world stage. And no, he's no coach, he's no team manager either. He happens to be the director of HR at one of India's leading oil and gas companies, Bharat Petroleum. A passionate sportsperson himself, he is the champion of the Petroleum Sports Promotion Board, which is an in-house sports tournament for employees. Under his vision and guidance, the company has strengthened its sports culture, ensuring that every employee has access to opportunities that enrich both workplace performance and life beyond work. So let's welcome Mr. Raj Kumar Dubey. Thank you for your time today and welcome to The Bridge. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling sporty as well.
That's great. So we're shooting this podcast especially for National Sports Day.
Okay.
And quickly before we go on to obviously talking about all the initiatives that you have at your company, can you tell us something about your childhood and, what really fueled the fire about sports and fitness for you?
Okay, it's very interesting that it has a lot to do with how you are treated, when you are a small child, and what place sports has in your life. And I was fortunate enough to have an encouraging father who would put me into various sports, and he wouldn't say, this sport is good for you or that sport is good for you. Sport is a sport, Then and therefore I could go through a range of starting with cricket, then football, then coming down to tennis, then badminton, then table tennis, billiards. So I could try all these sports, when I was barely, 12 to 13 years old. And then, whichever sports suits my body or my temperament. So I picked it up. And therefore I stuck on to tennis and squash after that, because they're easy to pursue rather than, the other team games where you need a lot of people to come together.
I just had this curiosity because, somebody who's really passionate about sports, only that person would be able to sort of make that ecosystem for other people as well, because you truly understand how it feels. And now you're a director of HR at BPCL, but you've had a career spanning like 3 decades here. And you've seen the culture, sort of imbibe sports as everyday way of life. And in your capacity, how have you created a really nice sports environment here?
See, one thing is in Bharat Petroleum, there is an affinity towards sports, even among the people of my company. That was there, as it is. And we recruited a lot of sportsmen at the initial stages in some 80s and 90s. And they have done very well, nationally and internationally. They have done very well. What my contribution was in this scheme of things was having sportsmen at that level, and you recruit them in a company. That's not enough, because this kind of because there may be one CEO who may, appreciate sports and he brings in some good sportsmen in the company. But to sustain this, there has to be a sporting culture in the entire company, so that these kind of initiatives, to develop, world-class sportsmen, they get a boost, they keep on, it keeps on happening, sustainable. It is sustainable. We should also have a sporting culture, within the company. And to that effect, we started creating a lot of infrastructure. You know how important infrastructure is.
Sure.
Because proximity to a sporting infrastructure, that's very important for you to pursue any sports, And therefore, we created a lot of infrastructure in terms of volleyball courts, in terms of badminton courts, open gyms in our locations like terminals, LPG plants. We got huge space there. So we created there so that people, when they're working, and after work, they can, immediately get into sporting activity. And of course, it has got n number of benefits, besides, bringing people together. So more than that, what I saw was the top management, the leaders, they should be seen as role models. So my first emphasis was to see that all these leaders, they get into one or the other sport. To that extent that we had even asked people to start playing pickleball, because after 45, 50 years, and you've not played anything, then your body doesn't move. And therefore, I said, pickleball has come as a blessing in disguise, So I said, most of them now you start playing pickleball, and it has picked up very well, actually. Second thing, what we have done is we have utilized our national and international players, to go to these locations, spend 3 or 4 days there, and encourage people. Because once these people, national icons there, they go into the location and they start playing. That we got, like for example, volleyball players. We have I think 12 to 13 national level volleyball players, and when each one of them goes to a location, and he teaches them, he brings them together.
I come from a very traditional Maharashtrian family, and most of my family members are all employees of public sector undertakings.
Yeah.
And my parents, growing up, they've always encouraged us and, everybody around me to sort of complete your education, work hard and get a government role. It's such a big thing in Maharashtrian families especially.
Yeah.
And I never understood the importance of it growing up. But today, when I look at people around and speaking to people like yourself, I truly understand the value of it, not just for personal development, but also the role the PSUs have in shaping the entire nation. I honestly feel it's such a great opportunity for people, who are sports oriented, who want to have a career but still want to be fit. Because it's a misconception, once you start work, your well-being, takes a back seat.
Yeah, you're right. Very right. Ask anybody that you play. They said, no, I don't play, but I used to play and that was when in the schools,
Yes.
Yeah. I think each one should feed on another, like you have a fit body, you're playing well, you're a fit body, and then you come back and, you come back and work, and you're not, you're fit there at work as well.
Yeah, and it shows.
Yeah. Sports doesn't mean you only have to play, there are lots of other things one can do. It's like we had this stepathon. It was a very encouraging response, because I never thought, out of 8,000 employees, 2,000 guys would come and participate in this month-long competition, and which includes very senior management here. Mm-hmm. And competing against each other, number of steps, somebody was taking 10,000, 12,000, 20,000 steps, every day. So this was a very encouraging thing. Then I think 2,000 of our people are running marathons all over the country. Yeah. And that's another, lovely thing we have. And I think we know that we are one of those very few corporates, who have a sports magazine in-house, to publicize and show everybody, what guys are doing at the national level, at a state level, at a very low district level, even among us, And luckily, we have this PSPB as a body, the Sports Promotion Board of this, petroleum companies. So they also have yearly matches they conduct.
It's an in-house sports tournament.
Yeah.
So from all the initiatives that you've mentioned, there's also something that your company promotes, which is the Sports Scholarship Program. I wanted to know if there is a certain criteria to make an application. And so what's the process? How can athletes make an application to this?
There should be some other, form of encouragement, and the scholarships can come in handy, so that, at a very young age, at least they get something, to support them. So this is a small endeavor on our part to support these people. And I think we would, now I think we have given about 100 odd scholarships, for 3 or 4 years,
Okay.
And we intend to increase it.
So is the sports scholarship program for in-house employees and their children, or it applies to everyone across?
No, it is not for in-house employees. Okay. Of course, they are not excluded, but it's mainly for, all over India, We have somewhere around 7 to 8 sports which are there in this, like tennis, squash, badminton, even cricket for that matter, and volleyball. and then some athletics as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
So is there a specific criteria that an athlete has to be of certain level, or it's just pure passion and they have to make an application for it?
Oh, we have very transparent criteria. It's solely merit based, on what all, the sportsmen have done and what kind of promise they are showing.
Okay.
So it's very strictly based on, merits. Yeah. And it will be for male sportsmen as well as female sportsmen. I think we have around 38 to 40% for female athletes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that the application for 2025 has been closed now.
Yeah.
But again, there will be applications open for 2026 and it'll be announced soon.
Yeah.
So,
It'll come maybe early next year.
For those of you interested in this, we're going to put some more information about the sports scholarship program down in the description below.
And if you care to know, there's one more, big initiative we are going to come up with, It is a formation of a sports academy,
Yes.
We have some good players in some sports who have gone national and international level. So I thought they would also, help us in putting up that academy and becoming, at least full-time coaches there. So we have in badminton, I think we have George Thomas, he's played, internationally, he was a national champion. And he's played the Thomas Cup besides, Gopi Chand and with all these people, he's that guy. So with him, we'll have a badminton academy and a volleyball academy. I think volleyball academy would be coming in Kochi, I think.
Okay.
And we'll have a squash academy, most probably in Mumbai. A couple of other academies in maybe archery or something or wrestling. We have a refinery in Bina in Madhya Pradesh. So maybe we'll have something there.
Okay.
So and that is another way of, encouraging sports at a very grassroots level, and maybe we will be able to produce some, national champions and Olympic champions as well,
This sounds wonderful. I am a millennial and I constantly feel like, I've just missed out on all these initiatives growing up. We've never had anything like this. I mean, of course, we've had other opportunities, but not to this scale that you have now.
Since you're saying that, I have something else to, add on in this. See, BPCL has always been a kind of a model, as far as within the PSUs, of having a welfare-oriented company, besides being very competitive, very, very competitive. Once a company starts doing this thing, takes these kinds of initiatives, it becomes a kind of a model for other companies.
Sure.
And so, another PSU does something well in some other area. We will, we'll tend to imitate that.
Yes.
And get to do those things for our people as well. So that is one rub-off effect it may have on other companies within the country. The other thing is people like you, you should see that there is a company, which though it cannot promise you work-life balance, it's an individual choice.
Right.
But there is a company which will give you life at work. And if people see BPC as this kind of a company, that gives, a lot of fillip to our BPCL brand, The best of the lot, would like to join us. And that's what, the idea is to build a brand where, you come in and it feeds on each other, The people who are interested in sports, they would love to come. And then the culture sustains.
So as athletes, you obviously have a very strong athlete identity. And when you walk in a room, people can just tell, if you're a sports person or not. But a lot of times, if you're not able to make something fruitful out of that, it leads to disappointment and they don't know how to cope with it. And even though they have the strengths of a sports person, after a point, they don't know how to use it. And a lot of times, people just don't succeed in their careers.
Yeah, you have brought in a very pertinent point, There's one thing is not going to that level in sports where it can pay for itself, or you're playing continuously. And then obviously you're forgetting about injuries as well, A lot of people can have injuries which are very debilitating and they're out of national level competitions. That's true. So see, for that's why I said there will be two things, One thing is how to get them into corporate life, and bring those strengths there. The sports people, I talked about resilience, never say die spirit, That's very important in corporate life as well, and a kind of personality you bring in, right? So that is one advantage. So what we are trying to do is, I think the next initiative from my side would be to see that we give them management education,
Okay.
right? And expose them to management education so that, they know the jargons, the management jargons. Job they would pick up just like that, especially in institutional sales or these kinds of places, they pick up. But they need some kind of, foundation there. So this is one part. Second part is some people, though they have failed, they must have not succeeded as much as they would like to be in the sports, but they would make good coaches, if they have that kind of a temperament.
Yeah.
So we would let them go through that. In fact, our Tushar is our national coach for women's team, hockey team. So he was with us, and he's a lovely coach, he's a great coach.
I also heard from one of your employees that you support para athletes as well, and there was a cricket tournament where employees from BPCL participated.
I don't know what is there to say, they are bigger champions for me, Yeah. Now here's a place, where, you don't have everything. And you have physical constants. And after that, you go and compete. You have the will and you go and compete at the international level. I mean, what more motivation a person can want, And that will have a rub-off effect on normal people, Yeah. And if they can do some things like this and they can feel, they can achieve some things, and why wouldn't we,
Okay.
So it was very natural, In fact, we should do much more.
So other than Neeraj Chopra being your brand ambassador and also Rahul Dravid, you have also supported some 200 plus athletes. And some of the athletes are star players like Saina Nehwal, Harmanpreet Singh, SV Sunil, cricketer like Surya Kumar Yadav. Yeah. So how does it feel that, a part of the credit of that Olympic medal or that World Championship trophy title also lies with BPCL somewhere?
There is a feeling of pride, that is one thing, And another thing is, each one has to do their bit, It's like it starts from your family, they sacrifice a lot to bring up a sporting icon. They have to sacrifice a lot. It starts from there, the school, and then comes in what will happen to me if I don't make it, that kind of constant support. And I heard, recently Shivam Dubey was talking to me and he said, if you had not supported us at that time, there were 4 or 5 guys and I was the only guy who made it, 4 or 5 guys were equally talented as me, but I made it because I had one thing common, one thing guaranteed that I am having a great company backing me,
Oh, nice.
for the rest of my life. But I think it's an uncanny coincidence, that we have chosen 2 of the greatest sports icons this country ever had, in Rahul Dravid and Neeraj Chopra, to become our brand ambassador as well, And there is some uncanny coincidence there. The sporting company should have sporting icons as the, brand ambassador, yeah.
So is there something that sets Neeraj Chopra apart from other athletes, in your opinion?
The kind of work and dedication which goes into preparation for that one throw of, 10 seconds, and you have years and years of dedication to develop, that small improvement every day, that incremental improvement, and to go on and on, for 10 years continuously. And then you reach the top and then it's very difficult to remain at the top, So there are great lessons for, a corporate guy to look into this, Suppose I need to build a brand, I need to work hard, It's not built in a day. So that 8 to 10 years of hard work gets into making a success. And then you reach the top. And then you have to work harder to remain there. Because lots of other guys are coming at you, And then now they have a model. They already have a model, you see. So it's easier for them to attack and come and compete with you. Now you have to up your game. And same thing in business, And you have to do it gracefully. That's the point.
And lastly, sir, how are you celebrating the National Sports Day with your employees at BPCL?
It's a nice thing, but what I look at it, it's everyday sports which makes it, I have literally gone, breaking this thing as of event-based sporting expression, So I would like every day of person's life to be a sporting day, Having said that, we are having lots of activities on the National Sports Day. We are having a cyclothon, then we'll have various marathon, lot of other activities in fact, to see that every, BPCN, participates in these different games, yeah. Yeah.
And I know you're a busy man. You would have to be off somewhere. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You're really wonderful.